Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nuggets News. This is the second half of an interview that I've been doing with Bitboy. So, Bitboy was kind enough to have me on his channel, and we're going to dive into some more specific stuff about the sectors we're looking at. But to start off with, Bitboy, you've seen unbelievable growth over on your channel. Do you want to maybe give us that backstory about, you were slogging away for ages, and then all of a sudden, bull market hits, and you've just grown to be the biggest channel. So, how did you do it, basically?
Hard work. Like that's what I'll tell everybody is, we work harder on this channel. For a long time, we said it. We're the hardest working channel in cryptocurrency. For a long time, I was working 20 hours a day, 7 days a week for months on end. And I was creating content and making a lot of videos on a lot of different topics, but my editing wasn't that great. The videos weren't like super high quality. But what happened is doing that many videos and having the experience of every single day reading so much into the crypto markets, somewhere along the line, like just naturally, the content started getting better. And then I started hiring employees and editors to really up the quality of the video. The plan was always to be able to position myself so when the bull market really hit, that we could be a channel that could start growing during that bull market. But it would actually happen a lot faster than that. After about 2 years of, stagnant growth, at the beginning of 2020, we just, hit the hyperdrive, and we haven't looked back since. We've had several times where, we've just, like at one point we were getting 10,000 subscribers a day for a couple weeks, and that was really phenomenal. And obviously the price of Bitcoin, it's funny to look at the relationship between my subscribers and the price of Bitcoin, because obviously the higher it goes, the higher the subscribers and the higher the rate. So we always try to provide, transparent, authentic content that, dives deep in some areas, but we also don't get too heavy on the tech on my channel. And that's, I think, why we do well, is because we try to appeal to the beginner, the intermediate. We don't get so deep and involved in like the mining and the tech and things like that, because, the general new person coming to crypto, they're coming to crypto because they want to change their lives financially. And so that's a lot of the stuff that we talk about.
Yeah. And have you noticed a certain demographic? You mentioned like TikTok before. So have you guys got like a multi-platform sort of strategy? And that to me
Yeah.
was interesting because I don't really see that younger crowd much at all, but you have noticed that younger age group coming into crypto?
Yeah, well, I'm popular with the kids. Okay. I guess that's what I say. I need a fanny pack to say that. It's a dad life. But the thing is we have a really large TikTok account. We've got 2.6 million followers on TikTok. Our TikTok account alone is bigger than every other person in crypto social media combined. Like individually, they're collective, between all their platforms. We've also got 210,000 followers on Twitter, and then we've got 100,000 on Instagram. And we've really worked hard. It's not just about our personal growth, though, in terms of our channel. Like, it's about spreading the message of crypto. And so we try to empower that through every platform we can. And we do have a younger demographic, like on TikTok, for instance. This will be shocking. On TikTok, about half of our followers on there are female. So in crypto, that's a really hard niche or a really hard demographic to get to. The traditional stat is like 90% men, 10% women. We've seen that, I think, change a little bit probably over this bull run. But on TikTok, we're reaching 50-50. So, and of course, obviously on TikTok, it is a much younger generation that we're reaching there as well. So we're not only being able to spread the message of crypto, we're not only able to grow the channel, but we're able to, bring in a newer generation. They're interested in, all kinds of things like NFTs, especially. You guys know they love Dogecoin. Lately, they love BitTorrent of all things. So it's definitely a different world over there on TikTok, but, definitely something that we found a lot of ROI in our investment over there.
That's incredible. Yeah, last bull market it was like 96% men
Yeah.
subscribers, and that I looked the other day and it's down to 90%, but
Yeah.
50-50 on TikTok. And so what do you put up? Just short form content there? Like what sort of stuff are you putting up that's got 2 million people interested?
Yeah.
Like that is amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, we really actually, we Trojan horsed them. That's what we did. We started, and it was just me. I keep saying I have a big company here with 20 employees, but when I started TikTok, it was just me. And I was doing like stories about the dark web. I was doing stories about, crazy, myths and superstitions. And the channel really started, getting pretty big, or the account there. And then it was like, I had like 60,000 subscribers on a different YouTube channel for that. It was called the CEO of Facts. And then at some point, I was like, you know what? This doesn't make sense for me to have two brands. Let me go ahead and switch all this over to crypto. So we had about a little over 2 million at that point already. So we kind of roped them in, if you will, and we haven't seen a dip in our numbers, so we're the same, even though we totally kind of changed over to crypto. And that was always my plan, right? To Trojan horse people into crypto. And, so we switched it over to crypto and the people were still interested. Now we lost like a little bit, right? Anytime you make a big transition like that, you're going to lose some people, but overall it's been a very favorable change. And we found that, it didn't hurt that we made that change at the beginning of the bull market. So obviously we're able to drive people that would have never been interested in cryptocurrency. They were already watching me. They follow for me and for what I talk about there. And it was very easy to transition and bring those people in. So it's definitely been a really cool process to watch. And so, that's what we do over there now is we do a lot of beginner content. We do a lot of questions and answers. We explain I'm always trying to remind the people there that hey, the price is volatile. So be careful whenever the price drops a lot, don't just go panic and sell everything because that's everybody's natural reaction in the beginning. So we're trying to educate people on common mistakes that people in crypto make that, of course, if you've been in this for a long time, we've all made those mistakes and we've learned from them. So that's what we try to translate there.
Yeah, cool. And obviously with us, we've got our premium research that pays the bills. So what's your model? You've got the team now, and where do you want to grow and take it all to?
Yeah. So just in terms of our, kind of revenue model, we've got YouTube, of course. We do very well on YouTube in terms, we make 6 figures a month just on YouTube ads. So pretty enough to sustain the business. But of course, we have private sales that we get in. We talk about a lot of our investments on the channel. And then, when you do sponsored reviews, which we did more at one point, now we do a lot of advisor roles and a lot of partner deals. But when you do those in, let's say, April of 2020, and you get paid X number of dollars for that, and then you fast forward to where we're at now in March of 2021, those gains are exponential. If you do a review for a couple $1,000 and then the price of Bitcoin goes 10x, wow, that was a $20,000 review that you did a year ago that, you got way bang for your buck. So obviously having just the increase of crypto and a lot of our other investments has been a very sustained model. And then of course we have referral programs that we take part in, Bybit, obviously Token Metrics, Markets Iver. Those are some of our, bigger ones that we do. And we believe in all the products, everything we talk about on the channel, we believe in.
Yeah, cool. That's I always like the crypto businesses that take the risk of having an entirely crypto treasury, and you see it in the OG Ethereum space. Like the old projects are just sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars because they took that risk. You've got to make sure you take some profits as well before the bear market. If that's
we find it hard to spend money. That's our biggest problem. We found we're making jokes. We have another channel called Hit Network where we vlog a lot of the stuff that we do here on a daily basis. And, we were talking about this a little bit ago for the vlog, which is there's not that big of a difference between having a lot of money and having no money to the banks, because the banks treat you very badly if you have a lot of money. They get very weird when you make transactions or when you want to spend it. We've had our bank account shut down. So we are very crypto rich and cash poor, and we like it that way. But we would like the banks to work with us a little bit more. And for instance, we had our bank account shut down, my personal accounts that I had for 15 years and on my business accounts, because we did a wire from Coinbase into our account.
Yeah, I think every Aussie crypto company's had their accounts shut down.
Yeah.
It's crazy over here. The banks just hate crypto.
Yeah.
So what sort of things are you seeing at the moment? Like, if people are interested in NFTs, you mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of almost want to get into, it gets to the point where some of these channels are so big that if you mention something like, obviously smaller projects, you can move the market. But even I think to some degree, if all the big YouTubers are super bullish on Bitcoin or Ethereum, then there's hundreds of thousands or millions of people watching those videos every day. Do you know what I mean? Like, in some ways it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what sort of things are you seeing that people are interested in? And do you notice that, like, that think people are hanging on every word you say?
Yeah, of course. It's one of these things where, people attack us for this. And I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm a crypto channel. Should I not give you crypto picks? We've actually had to get to the point where we decided like real low cap, like under $1 million coins, like under $1 million market caps or under $10 million market caps, we're just not going to give them anymore. Like, we're just not going to do it. Even though we have We discuss in my research group all the time, like some killer low cap projects, but we're just not going to give them out anymore, because when we do, people go buy it and the market moves, and then people that were already invested in it start selling it, and they accuse us of doing it for that purpose. So we're just not going to do it anymore, like to try to negate that risk. We can't help it that when we do videos, we sometimes cover top 10 to 20 projects and we see the market move. And it's a lot of power and it's a lot of responsibility. And it's really one of these things that I wish I could just be more free to talk about what I want to talk about and not have to have kind of that movement. But that's just where we're at with cryptocurrency being a new and developing market. So everything that we're invested in, we are transparent about. And then every single thing that every time that we do a sponsor video, video review, like literally every time we've ever done one in the history of this channel, we disclose, because we want people to have that information, because it could in fact, affect what they want to do. So it is just one of those things that's like a catch-22. It really makes us feel pigeonholed. And the bigger we get, the less freely we feel like we can talk about, with low cap gems and stuff like that. So that's been it. You might see me, I get a little passionate about it, because I get very frustrated by that. Like, I'm a crypto channel, but people don't like it when I talk crypto. And that really, to me, is kind of a bummer and sucks.
Yeah, no, I know the exact thing. And even I've probably been a bit naive when you talk about some things and then you see the price sort of move and you just forget that some people literally, if you mention something, they'll go out and buy it. But
like for instance, we were having a conversation here in the office the other day. I'm a partner with DexKit. DexKit is a good project, and they run my decentralized exchange aggregator. It's called bitswapdex.io. I'm not giving that to shill, bitswapdex.io. I mean, people can use it if they want. It's an aggregator. But like, I did a video on it, and the next day somebody came in and they were like, "Oh my gosh, did you see DexKit? Like, it went up like, to 100% or 200%." And it was like 24 hours after. I was like, haven't even looked. I had no idea, had no idea that it had moved like that. And, it is one of those things that can be, it's like you're constantly trying to figure out that balance between trying to give good content and then trying to, show restraint so people aren't just like aping into everything.
Yeah, aping it. Now, you've covered Cardano a lot.
Yes.
You also like Ethereum. So I guess my sort of view on it is that I like the fact that they've done the research and that they're doing things, I guess, professionally and in a slightly different manner. My concern is that it's got up to a pretty high valuation now, and there's a lot of talk and expectation. The other day, I think they said there's 1,000 ETH projects that are going to come to Cardano. But at the moment, I would say, how many DeFi projects are there, or gaming, or NFTs on Cardano? And the answer will basically be zero to all those questions. So what do you think about that? Is one overpriced or underpriced? Are we going to see 1,000 projects on Cardano within a year, or how's it all playing out?
Yeah, so I love Ethereum. I love Cardano. And, a lot of people say, well, that's weird. They're enemies. They're not really enemies. Like, that's just kind of a narrative that goes out there. I think probably Charles and Vitalik would probably get in a boxing ring with each other. Well, if Vitalik maybe got on some steroids. But, the thing about it is I love decentralized smart contracts. Like, that's actually what got me really interested in crypto, is the idea of the decentralization of the internet, the removal of censorship, the exposure of a lot of the corruption that goes on in financial markets and in governments. Like, that's the stuff I'm really passionate about. Unfortunately, my audience isn't as passionate about that, so we don't get to make as many videos about it as we would want. So I'm bullish on smart contract platforms. I like Polkadot. I like Solana. I like Elrond. Like, that is my favorite area of cryptocurrency by a long shot. Now, I can't wait for the one that really, develops Web 3.0 and a decentralized internet. But all that being said, specifically with Ethereum and Cardano, we love Ethereum. We think it's extremely undervalued right now. We think there's been a lot of the manipulation, especially from the institutions and a little bit from the mining world, obviously, with these mining wars going, on in the background, that it pushed the price down. And we've seen that. It started to break out at the beginning of February, and then it came crashing down and, dropped all the way through a channel and went to a lower channel. So we think that the price is good. I think that a lot of the gas fee stuff is very overblown. It's not overblown in the idea that it inhibits traders, smaller traders, from making money. Like, the platform itself, the gas fees are killing. Like, I get that. But the actual value and the actual price of Ethereum should not be hampered by that much, because a lot of the money that's been pushing Bitcoin up and Ethereum has been institutional money. And let me tell you, they could care less about gas fees. If you think that, BlackRock cares about the gas fees, they don't. That's not their game. They're looking at store value and potential. There's a reason why Bitcoin and Ethereum are the two big targets for institutions. And, obviously corporations as well. We're starting to see in Asia, the company Me Too out there is trying to become the micro strategy for Ethereum, basically. So that's some interesting stuff. But that's like really an overblown narrative to me. However, I do think the mining wars that have been behind some of that gas fee stuff has definitely hurt things. Cardano, on the other hand, Cardano is probably valued about where it should be right now. Maybe a little closer to $2, right? Maybe the Coinbase news should have, in the listing should have pumped it up a little bit more. Buy the rumor, sell the news. I'm sure that's what a lot of people are doing. It also been on an explosive run. I feel like Cardano is about where it should be. I feel like Ethereum is vastly undervalued right now. Now, in terms of the ecosystems, like you bring up, Cardano is a future play. 4 years from now, that's when we'll really see in the next cycle what its ecosystem looks like. And I know Charles put out, a map of their ecosystem recently on Twitter, and it looks impressive. But when you compare it to Ethereum's, it's not very much. The idea, though, that all of these companies and projects are going to move from Ethereum to all these other platforms and cut Ethereum is a little naive to me. What we're seeing these DeFi projects branch out. We're seeing them branch out to other platforms, not completely leave Ethereum. And so the DeFi game, we haven't even seen with Cardano yet. The NFT game, we haven't even really seen it with Cardano yet. So I do think that at some point we are going to see that, but it's just not there yet. So, I mean, Cardano today is kind of where Ethereum was in like early 2018. So we're going to have to see really how that, explodes and develops. But overall, I love a robust decentralized platform ecosystem where Cardano does well, Ethereum does well, Polkadot does well. A lot of these projects do well. That's what I'm cheering for.
Yes, no, I agree with that as well. Right, finishing up, do you want to give us some price predictions? Do you like giving Bitcoin and ETH price predictions?
Oh, I love it so much. I think Ethereum is going to hit 2,500 by Valentine's Day. Oh, crap. It's March. I guess I missed that. That's my big prediction. Everybody kills me for it because I said Ethereum to 2,500 by Valentine's Day and they didn't get there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I like price predictions. Obviously, we do them a lot on the channel. We adjust them based on things from time to time, but we stick to them. And, I believe that the Bitcoin price is going to $322,000 by September. I believe Ethereum by Halloween is going to go to $27,000. Now, obviously, the Ethereum prediction is heavily based upon what Bitcoin does. So if Bitcoin goes to 100,000 and drops back down, obviously Ethereum won't get to those kind of prices. But when we're looking at a 6-figure Bitcoin, above the $200,000 range, I think to me, like 15,000 is the bottom for Ethereum. Like I couldn't possibly see it not getting above $15,000, 27,000, in the most bullish scenarios, that's the number I'm looking at.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's big. That's big. I'll be very happy if it goes to that. And
I think we all will for sure. But what, just so you understand, like a lot of people, they hear these price predictions I make, and, a lot of people, I think they don't actually, like they might just see a meme of me on Twitter or something. But in reality, like we put a lot of thought and a lot of research into our price predictions. The Bitcoin price prediction, for instance, is based on 3 different models and averaging those together. It's the city prediction of $318,000 by this year. It is the stock to flow model, $289,000 this year. And then based upon the percentage gain in 2017 from the previous all-time high, which was about, I think, $1,200 or somewhere around there, it's 17.8x. So if you round that up to 18x to $20,000 is what it did in 2017. 18x from $20,000 is $360,000. So when you average all those numbers together, you get $322,000. And so that's where we got that from. And then when you look at Ethereum, that's kind of based upon the history of Ethereum's value versus Bitcoin, timing wise. And then, because Ethereum's going to run up after Bitcoin hits all-time high. That's when Ethereum will peak, just like we saw in 2017 for Bitcoin, January 2018 for Ethereum. So it's based on a lot of those numbers as well. And so, they're very exact predictions. Will we get there? I certainly hope so. But I think if Ethereum goes to $15,000 and it doesn't get to 27,000, and if Bitcoin gets to 200,000, it doesn't get to 322,000, I think people are still going to be pretty happy.
Yeah. Okay. That is historical ratios. That's still within the norms, isn't it? Okay. Cool. Awesome. Well, well done on all your channel growth. No one's cracked 1 million yet. I'm sure someone will get to 1 million
That's going to be
subscribers
us.
on
We're going
YouTube.
to, we're going to get there first. That is our very strong and passionate goal. So when we do get to 1 million subs, we're giving away a full Bitcoin. I think a full Bitcoin, 5 Ethereum, and 4,000 Cardano. So
awesome.
Yeah,
Well, guys, head over and check out Bitboy's channel if you haven't already. But yeah, and thanks for having me on as well, Bitboy. And we'll have to catch up again in the future.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Cheers, guys.